Mr. Speaker, will you please call the House to order?
The House will come to order. In the absence of clergy, let us pause for a moment of silence. Visitors are invited to join the members in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. A quorum being present, the clerk will read the Journal of Tuesday, March 1st. Mr. Morelli.
Yes, Mr. Speaker, I move to dispense with the further reading of the Journal of Tuesday, March 1st, and that the same stand approved.
Without objection, so ordered. Mr. Morelli.
Mr. Speaker, if I might, let me in just a moment give our schedule for the day, but I do want to identify a few things that have happened on this date, March 2nd, in history. And I should note, Mr. Speaker, that I've decided, because there's only so many days in the year and so many events, that if members have local events that would be of historical importance to the local community, we'd be happy to acknowledge them here from the desk as we start our session. So that's an open invitation. I'm sure I'll be sorry I offered it, but anyway, that's the idea here. But on this day in 18...
what you asked for, Mr. Morelli.
That's right. On this day in 1825, the first grand opera was sung in English in New York City. Italian opera entertainers were flown in to perform the fully staged opera, The Barber of Seville, which I only remember Alfalfa singing years ago, so shows about my cultural background. On this day, 149 years ago, the United States Congress passed the first of 4 statutes that made up the Reconstruction Acts. These acts were necessary to provide for the more efficient government of the southern states and a condition in order to readmit them back into the Union. And finally, for sports fans, on this day in 1962, Wilt Chamberlain of the Philadelphia Warriors scored 100 points in a game against the New York Knicks. To this day, not surprisingly, the Hall of Famer continues to hold the record for most points scored in a single game. Let me talk a little bit about our schedule for the day. Members have on their desk a main calendar. After any introductions and housekeeping, we will begin our work today beginning with calendar number 165 on page 19. And we will take potentially up additional bills on debate. Majority members should be aware there will be the need for a conference once our work on the floor has been completed, and I will obviously consult with the minority to see if they have any conference needs as well. So with that as a general background, Mr. Speaker, housekeeping and introductions will be appropriate at this time.
Certainly. At the request of Mr. Morelli, on behalf of Ms. Clark, the following bills are committed back as follows. The Committee on Banks, Calendar 182, Bill number 4534. Committee Children and Families, Calendar number 184, Bill number 4572. Committee on Health, Calendar number 370, Bill number 4466. Mr. McDonald for an introduction.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for the opportunity to interrupt our proceedings today. We'd like to recognize a group of friends who are here visiting today. They're legislators, and they are here to recognize Rare Disease Day, which we passed a resolution on this past week. The group that's here today, the Rare Disease Alliance and the Disease of Unmet Need, is led by 2 individuals, Kathleen Arneston, who has actually been the leader since they were incorporated in 2013, and now taking over is Jennifer Luby as well. Mr. Speaker, I don't know if you know this or not, but there are 7,000 rare diseases throughout America, which impacts 200,000 individuals. And of that 7,000 rare disease, 80% are classified as ultra rare. In other words, small amount of individuals. But at the same token, when you look at the costs and the impacts of individuals, it impacts over 30 million Americans throughout this country. They are here today to bring awareness to rare diseases, and more importantly, the unmet need. And the challenges with rare disease is multiple. One is to be able to find an appropriate diagnosis, to be able to find an appropriate provider or a treatment center, to be able to afford treatment, or to be able to get treatment in a timely manner. And therefore, Mr. Speaker, I want to thank you for allowing us to interrupt our proceedings. I'd ask you to extend them all the privileges of the floor and thank them for their great awareness and efforts.
Certainly. On behalf of Mr. McDonald, the Speaker, and all the members, we welcome you here to the New York State Assembly, the People's House. We extend to you the privileges of the floor, and we commend you on the work that you do on behalf of those who may not be able to voice their own concerns. That is a blessing. Thank you so very much. Always stay strong in your work. Thank you. Mr. Rea.
Good morning, Mr. Speaker. Thank you for allowing me to rise for the purposes of an introduction. Many of you might have noticed a bunch of your local library officials running around the past couple of days. It is their official lobbying week up in Albany. And I don't know about all you, but I love my libraries. Our libraries represent everything that is right in our communities. You know, back when I was young and there was no such thing as the internet, it's where we went to expand our minds, reading the, magazines, books, classical literature, you name it, it was there. But as times have progressed, our libraries have found a way to keep up with those changing times. Now I can get on my phone, I can find out just about anything, about anyone, about anything, just by hitting Google. I can read War and Peace on my iPhone if my eyes would hold out that long. They won't. But our libraries have found a way to keep up with the times. Media, meeting rooms. Just last week, I had the privilege of hosting a Narcan training session. We have a terrible heroin epidemic on Long Island and throughout New York State. And our local libraries even have a day in which people can bring their expired or unused medications. I have one library that in Northport that took in 100 pounds of excess unused medications in one day, in just a few hours. So our library is an intricate part of our communities. During Hurricane Sandy, when Long Islanders were without power for days and weeks, you had charging stations at your local libraries where people were going to charge their phones, where people were sitting in the parking lot at all hours to access the internet from their cars. They are an asset, an indispensable asset for our communities, and I'm proud that both this body and the Senate have always added additional monies to the budget above and beyond what the governor has always proposed year in and year out, and I hope this year is no exception. Joining us today in the back, and I'd ask that they stand, we have James Olney from the Northport Public Library, Ray Athanas from Harborfields, Michelle Athanas from Northport, Joanne Adam, Huntington Public Library, Sue Goldberg, Elwood Library, and Joe Latini, South Huntington Library. They represent some of the finest individuals I've ever had a chance to work with. They care about our young. They care about all our residents, from the earliest ages to our most senior residents, all those folks that utilize our libraries. I'd ask that you offer them the cordialities of the House and give them a warm welcome. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Certainly, on behalf of Mr. Rea, the Speaker, and all the members, we welcome you here to the New York State Assembly. We applaud the work that you do in your libraries and in your community. We extend to you the privileges of the floor. We're always pleased that you have come and spent some time to visit with us and to inform us about the needs of libraries for the next year. Thank you so very much. Mr. Morelli.
Thank you, sir. Let's begin with resolutions on page 3, beginning with Resolution 1021 by Ms. Lepardo.
Clerk will read.
Resolution number 1021, Ms. Lepardo. Legislative resolution memorializing Governor Andrew M. Cuomo to proclaim March 2016 as American Red Cross Month in the state of New York.
On the resolution, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed, no. The resolution is adopted.
Resolution number 1022, Mrs. Gunther. Legislative resolution memorializing the Honorable Andrew N. Cuomo to proclaim March 6th through the 12th, 2016 as No More Week in the state of New York.
On the resolution, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed, no. The resolution is adopted.
Resolution number 1023, Mrs. Barrett. Legislative resolution memorializing Governor Andrew M. Cuomo to proclaim March 6th through the 12th, 2016 as School Social Workers Week in the state of New York.
On the resolution, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed, no. The resolution is adopted. Mr. Morelli.
Yes, sir. If we can begin consenting on page 19 of the main calendar, beginning with calendar number 165 by Mr. Wright.
Clerk will read.
Assembly 3949, calendar number 165, Mr. Wright, an act to amend the executive law.
The bill is laid aside.
Assembly 4102, calendar number 168, Mr. Wright, an act to amend the public housing law.
Read the last section.
This act shall take effect on the 90th day.
Clerk will record the vote. Mr. Morelli.
Yes, sir. I want to make clear to members that this is our first vote of the day. Obviously, those members in the chamber will cast their votes. But for those who have still not made their way over, and I see from the board there is a significant number, they should make their way over, and staff should alert them to the fact that we have our first vote of the day.
First vote of the day, members. At the sound of our voices, please come to the chamber and cast your vote. Thank you. Are there any other votes? Announce the results.
Ayes 114, noes 4.
The bill is passed. Ms. Corwin for an introduction.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for allowing me to interrupt the proceedings. Our colleague, Assemblyman Dan Stack, has a very special guest in the back of the chamber. Visiting him today is Dr. Chris Duffy. She's the president of SUNY Adirondack, and she is here in Albany today with about a dozen students, and they are visiting with their legislators and watching the legislative process. So if you could please extend the cordiality of the House to these terrific students and our president of SUNY Adirondack. Thank you.
Certainly, Ms. Corwin. On behalf of Assemblymember Daniel Stack, the Speaker and all the members, President and students, we welcome you here to the New York State Assembly. We extend to you the privileges of the floor. We are always pleased that you have chosen to join us and hope that this will be a day which will be beneficial to the enhancement of education in the state of New York. Thank you so very much for joining us.
Assembly 4184, calendar number 170, Ms. Davila, an act to amend the education law.
Read the last section.
This act shall take effect immediately.
The clerk will record the vote. Are there any other votes? Announce the results.
Ayes 103, noes 4.
The bill is passed.
Assembly 4186, calendar number 171. Mr. Cusick, an act to amend the election law.
Read the last section.
This act shall take effect immediately.
The clerk will record the vote.